Përshëndetje gjithë miq, takohemi në Albania NEWSCASTI në episodin ton të radhës. Kemi kënaqësinë që të kemi të ftuar ambasadorën e Izraelit në vendin ton, zonjën Galit Peleg, me të cilën do flasim për zhvillimet më të fundit në lindjen e mesme, zhvillimet ekonomike, java e kulturës e Izraelit, por pa harruar edhe protestat, ku ka patur edhe disa element antisemit. Organizatorët e protestës janë distancuar, kanë qenë që janë fake news-e, por dua që të marr edhe përshtypjet e ambasadores Peleg, që kam kënaqësinë ta kem në Albania NEWSCASTI. Ambassador, thank you for coming at my new program.
Thank you very much. It's so pleasant to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it that you find the time to come here. Let's start the discussion and our conversation about the situation in the Middle East, new bombings in Lebanon, and the situation in Gaza.
Okay, the situation is still complicated. We have been in a state of war since October 7th, 2023. We don't need to elaborate about the attack, the massacre, the shocking, and then the war followed it. We started a very vast operation in Gaza in order to neutralize Hamas, and then we moved to other fronts. First and foremost was the front with Iran, together with the Americans. Obviously, we know that Iran is the Iranian regime is behind everything that's going on in the Middle East. It's destabilizing, it's supporting and exporting terrorism, not to mention the threat of developing a nuclear bomb. So the front with Iran is conducted by the Americans, and we are there to assist. What happens with Lebanon is that Hezbollah, which is a proxy of Iran, voluntarily decided to join the party. We warned them not to, but they decided to join, and obviously the Iranians are pushing them because they are the close front to the north of Israel. Since then, Israel is being bombed by Hezbollah, especially in the north. A few months ago, we came to this kind of ceasefire, but Hezbollah breached the ceasefire daily, with small things. Here a small missile, here a drone, explosive drone, and Israel retaliated in accordance. And the situation now is that the negotiations with Iran is being conducted by the Americans, by President Trump. But at the same time, Israel is fighting an existential war in the north of Israel, because the people in the north of Israel still suffer from daily bombs and rockets and explosive drones from Hezbollah. We see a very encouraging change in Lebanon, because for always we said that the Lebanese people are not our enemy. I can tell you, when I was a kid, we had the border with Lebanon. We used to call it the good fence, and people from south of Lebanon used to come and work in Israel. We didn't have peace agreement, but still it was a very flexible border. Once this terrorist activity started from Lebanon towards Israel, it became very difficult, and I think that the first to suffer are the people in Lebanon that want peace. Now, for many years, we didn't hear them expressing these desires for peace and quiet. And lately, you see, even in the Lebanese government, but also in the parliament, and mainly journalists from Lebanon that speak very openly about the possibility to come to some arrangement with Israel and to eliminate the presence and the terrorist activity of Hezbollah. I think they were encouraged by the front in Iran, because they are the main supporters of Hezbollah. I can tell you that we have in Israel a population of a few thousands of people that escaped from Lebanon, mainly Christians that escaped from south of Lebanon after Israel withdrew from Lebanon in 1999. And in Lebanon, they were like ignored totally, like even boycotted. And lately, journalists started to interview Lebanese that live in Israel because they treat them as a bridge. So we see, on one hand, we see the Hezbollah that continue their activity, and our aim is to eliminate their terrorist activity towards Israel. But at the same time, we do see sparkles of hope from the Lebanese themselves that are trying to say things that we didn't hear in the past. Also, there were negotiations between Lebanon and Israel in the United States, and we are looking to see the outcome.
What about the situation in Gaza Strip?
In Gaza, you know, the majority of the focus we put now in the north, because this is like the hot front, but the activity in Gaza continues as long as Hamas is trying to gain power. Israel continues to, or the IDF continues to be active there to eliminate terrorists that were part of 7th of October, one by one, but they are still active. Hamas is still controlling the people. We see horrible footage from Gaza of how Hamas are treating the Palestinians themselves. From time to time you see these horrible footage. And obviously, Gaza will not be able to recover itself as long as they are being controlled by this terrorist organization that doesn't care about their own people.
Ambassador, how Israel see the future for the Gaza Strip? Is still the idea to have two-state solutions on the table?
I think the talks about two-state solutions were kind of frozen after 7th of October. It's not off the table, but this is not an issue that people are talking about now. It's not the time of hope that we had after the Oslo agreements and all these years. People say that perhaps they have to not think again about two-state solution, but about the pace. And for now, the near future steps should be how to make sure that Gaza is not controlled by terror, and that people can live there and recover there in a way that will be maybe with assistance of international control, like the headquarters that the Americans set there, and we will see. I mean, these processes are still in the stages of planning and building. I know that Albania is a part of this. Albania is sending also forces to help with the recovery. Also Kosovo, and I'm very happy that Albania and Kosovo are part of this plan. I think that it's not enough that the international community is doing it. There must be cooperation from the countries in the region and also from the Palestinians themselves. I understand that they are in inferior situation because they are being still controlled by Hamas. I think the only solution to implement any recovery plan for Gaza is to reduce the power of Hamas there, because their goal is not the future of the Palestinian people. Their goal is the no future for Israel. And you cannot build a dream or a vision based on elimination of someone. You have to have your own dream. And this dream should include a future of economy, future of education, and I think that the international community's plan is good, led by the Americans. I hope they will be able to implement it. I think it's all depend on reducing the power of the terrorist forces there. I think by weakening the main sponsor, which is Iran, it helps, but it's not enough. It has to be a goal to make sure that Hamas does not control Gaza.
And how is the situation in the field with the supplies, food, and so on? Because I see news on the international media that they are saying that there are still problems, especially for the civilians.
Look, the food supply to Gaza never stopped. There was a lot of fake news in the international media about not allowing food inside. There's a lot of supplies of food and medicine and babies' food into Gaza. The main challenge is who controls it once it crosses the border. There were tons of food supply that were destroyed because they were not be able to distribute them to the people. And you could see that, again, Hamas wants to control all the supplies that goes in, first to make sure that their own people are getting these supplies, and also to make benefit of this. Last week I saw footage of a young Palestinian guy that was bitten by Hamas people because he was trying to take food from the storage of this supply that is coming into Gaza. I know that the Americans try to find other ways to distribute these supplies. I don't think there is a shortage of food and medicine supplies in Gaza. The main challenge is the distribution there. And as long as Hamas is controlling also the distribution, you see from one side, you see footage of people that need food. On the other hand, you see footage of people celebrating in Gaza with a lot of food and music and parties. We know who they are connected to, that they get all these supplies. But definitely, and by the way, the food that is coming from Israel through the crossings, the trucks that are going, we publish it, the number of trucks that are crossing every day, and there are cameras there. So people can connect to the website and see with their own eyes the traffic that is going into Gaza. The problem is after, like I said, after they cross the crossing, how the distribution there is.
And Ambassador, I want your comment about the flotilla event that happened in the past weeks. Also, it was a guy from Albania that was part of this group of vessels. What is your comment, and also how do you see the reactions that they were made by the heads of the European Union Commission and so on?
Look, these flotillas, it's a kind of a circus. I mean, obviously, we saw also in the previous ones and also in this one, they don't really bring humanitarian aid. They want to create a provocation. You also see the profile of the people that participate. Usually, it's either young people that are, jobless people, or
activists, some of them,
or some celebrities from the very, very let's say forgotten leagues that nobody pays attention, so they're trying to gain some publicity. Also, there are these professional activists that are getting money to create these problems, and some of them are affiliated to terror organizations, and we have proof for that, especially to Hamas. They are also supported financially by organizations that are affiliated with Hamas, and some countries that want to create provocations against Israel. And I think they don't even hide it anymore, that they come to create provocation. Definitely, it's not humanitarian aid that they are carrying. You don't find on the boats humanitarian aid. I don't know if you saw this footage of this guy.
Yeah, I saw some of them.
Taking chocolate and throwing to the water, and he says maybe it will float to the children in Gaza. I mean, it's a joke. There are all these stories that are coming out of these flotillas, of these parties, and the main cargo that they carry is sometimes some light drugs and condoms. So you understand that it's like a big party for these people. It's a theater. If you want to create really humanitarian aid, there are the ways to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza. I think it's unfortunately there are some. So I think the people that are sending them, they know exactly why they're sending them, and then you have the useful idiots that are, joining the party without even knowing who is leading them. They found a way to smear Israel and to harass our authorities with this. Also the provocation when they come back. Now you saw how they were treated when they came back, because in Spain, in Australia, in other places, these are professional provocators. Nobody likes professional provocators. They don't bring anything positive to the table. I think it's time to end with this. I think the governments that are not the government that supports them, they are the ones that want to create the provocation. But the government that don't support them should put an end to this and to say, if you join this flotilla, the authorities will take care of you, because I think it's something that it definitely doesn't help Palestinians. Now, if you want to do humanitarian flotilla, first of all, show us that you really carry humanitarian aid. Second, there are so many cases in the world that you could help people, really, when they are being really massacred, harassed, human rights breaches. There are so many examples in Africa, in Iran. Why don't you help them?
All over the world.
Yeah.
I want to change the topic from the situation in Middle East. Let's come to situation in Albania.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have saw the protests that is happening here about the project in Zvërnecit, but there were some anti-Israel comments, and let's say people that they put elements in the protests. I think you have saw them. I want your comment about it.
Yes. When I see the protests, and people ask me all the time, what do you think about protests? I think it's a very good thing. It means that Albania is a democracy, and people can express their opinions, and they can say, express what they think about the government, about things that are happening here, and it shows that people care. I understand them completely. I think what we saw in regards to Israel in the protests is very unfortunate. And it's very unfortunate that people are abusing the genuine right of people to protest, to promote agendas that are not related, and sometimes even dangerous. And I will explain. You can say that you don't want things to, this area to be sold. Legitimate. You can even say that you don't want, that you criticize Israel, but to turn this protest to something that has the bad smell of anti-Semitism, it's a slippery slope. When I saw the photos, the posters in the protest of Mr. Rama, dressed like a religious Jew with a hat and
I saw them too.
The pears, I will be very blunt. It reminded me elements that we saw in Germany in the 30s. That they blamed the internal problems of Germany on the Jewish minority. And here to take these elements and to say, instead of this is our problem, to blame it on the Jews, this is a very dangerous turning point.
I can say clearly that it was a fake news that the Jews or Israel will buy Albania.
Totally, but you know, we live in an era...
This is a fake news.
It is
we have
fake.
to clarify it.
Yes, it is fake news, and we live in an era that it's so easy to generate through AI pictures and images that are fake and to make people believe. So first of all, yes, definitely it's fake news. But the use of it to take an internal issue that people really feel about it very strongly because they are patriotic, and I understand that. And to bring Israel into this picture, but not only Israel, but Jewish elements, and use these anti-Semitic images, it's very dangerous. And it's dangerous not to Israel, not to Israel. Even though I can tell you that only yesterday morning I got 2 messages from Israeli businessmen that are going to invest here, and they told me, listen, we're about to sign a very big contract and we hesitate. And I don't want this to happen because our embassy is working very, very hard to bring investment here. We just had this week a very good, very big conference with people from the agriculture and food security
also some
sector.
agreements.
Yes, the MOU was a memorandum of understanding was signed, and we are really trying to bring investments here to Albania and to do business because I believe that sustainable relations are connected with doing business together. But the danger in what we see in the protest is even bigger. It's bigger for Albania, not for Israel. And I will tell you why. I think the image of Albania is not the image. The best asset of Albania are the people and if I would say the DNA of Albanian people is the hospitality, tolerance, kindness. And for Israelis, it's something that Albanians are very proud of. Our mutual history and saving the Jews. And when people see this, they say, actually, so where is this tolerance? Where is this hospitality? If I don't feel safe to come here as a Jew or as an Israeli, then it just destroys the image of Albania.
I'm pretty sure they are a very, very small group
I have no doubt.
In Albania. Do you think it has links with terrorist groups or actors that they don't like these good relations that we have between our countries?
I have no doubt that we're talking about a small group of people that are poisoning these protests. And I have no doubt that they are those who are meddling and they are sponsoring this, that they don't like to see the good relation, the close relations between Israel and Albania, and they are trying to harm it. They cannot harm it in a way that they cannot change the history, they cannot change the feelings of peoples. What they can change, what they can damage is like I said, the hospitality and the feeling that Israelis, when they come here, that they feel safe. And by the way, not only Israelis, I'm talking also about Jewish Americans.
Yeah.
Because it's much wider than the bilateral national relations. American Jews that are visiting Albania or are related to Albania, and there are people in different places that are very important for Albania that are working for Albania, and people don't even know that they are Jewish, but they have strong connection to Albania because of this very solid historical relations. And this very minor group of people that are trying to poison the streets, they can do a lot of damage. And this is I think it's a slippery slope.
And Ambassador, what do you think about the potential that we have regarding economy between our countries? In political field, our relations are extremely good, I can say it. What about economy? It's very important.
So if we put aside the atmosphere that these protests are trying to create, I think we have great potential in economic relations. You are right that politically the relations are very good. We had a very historical visit of Prime Minister Rama in Israel in the Knesset in January. It's an honor that is given to usually presidents of the United States. And Prime Minister Rama was giving a speech, a very emotional speech that people from all parts of the Knesset were very impressed, and also the public. But also, you know, when I talk to members of parliament here in Albania, they always tell me that there are two issues that the whole house agrees. One is European integration, and two is good relations with Israel. So politically, I think we are covered, and I agree with you. Economically, I think that in the last few years, at least the time that I'm here for 3.5 years, I feel that there is kind of upgrade in the, or next step in the relations. We as an embassy were trying to organize these B2B conferences, business-to-business conferences, really to take it from the level of governments to the level of the people and the businesses. And there is a lot of enthusiasm. 2 years ago, we did a conference. We brought here companies in cyber and high-tech. Last year, we brought companies together in the field of energy and water. And this year, this week, we had a very successful conference in agriculture and food security. And I can tell you that I spoke afterwards with some Israeli businessmen that came here. First of all, they stayed, all of them stayed beyond the conference. They said, it's a beautiful country, we want to see it. But they really made connections in 2 days. If we take this as an example and we expand it, I think that Israel and Albania are very much complementing each other, because Israel can bring the technology and the innovation, but Albania has a traditional knowledge of agriculture. You have the natural resources that Israel can only be jealous, and there is and there are needs in Israel to import. In terms of, if we're talking about agriculture. By the way, during this week, we had also a visit of the Director General of Ministry of Agriculture, and he met with Minister Sala and other people from the Ministry of Agriculture, and he visited farms, and we talked about importing from Albania to Israel. So I think there is a lot of potential. Not only in this field. I can tell you that I'm getting requests from big developers that they want to come here and do some businesses in tourism, to invest in big hotels, and I think there is a lot of potential. We don't want anyone to harm this. The fact that we have direct flights in the last 2 years is totally a game changer. We see it in the number of tourists, but also businesses understand that Albania is just around the corner. It's 2 hours flight. It's like it's part of our neighborhood.
A friend of mine, a very well-known journalist, told me that she went in Israel and she came back yesterday, and the airplane was fully booked.
Yes. Yes.
So it was totally a surprise also.
So since
also
we have,
for her.
it's true. So since we have direct flights, the Israelis are discovering Albania in every level, in the level of tourism as tourists, but also for investments, for doing businesses together. And like I said, I believe that once you do business, you're intertwined in a way, much more sustainable relations. You know, you're a tourist, it's nice. You can go visit Thailand for 1 week, and India for 1 week, and the United States and Albania, and then you come back and you continue to the next country. When you do business, you are connected to, you connected in investments, but also to the people. Because, and I have to tell you that I saw it this week. Every businessman that I spoke with, they didn't talk only about business potential. They said, wow, we were sitting with the Albanians and we really became friends. So I think also we have a very similar culture and behavior that, you know, not unofficial. So people connect immediately.
Yeah.
And it helps. It helps also
Of course,
connecting
it helps
with
a
the
lot.
business.
And Ambassador, the final question about the Israel Cultural Week. What is the calendar? What will happen? Any special guests?
If I may just add one more thing about agriculture, that 2 weeks ago we inaugurated together with Prime Minister Rama and Minister Salah an Israeli farm in the county of Elbasan, which will demonstrate Israeli technologies and methods of agriculture. And the idea is really to work with Albanian farmers to upgrade their farms and to help Albania to reach the standards that, like in Israel, like in the European Union, and to help them also to enter these markets. When Albania will join the EU, you will be ready. So this is a project that I'm very proud of because I think it's really for benefit of people. Regarding Culture Week, so every year the Israeli embassy is organizing a Culture Week with cultural events to show people, to invite people to our home far from home. So this week is going to be next week. So on the 9th of June, we will have a very special musician that is doing special music. We will publish it so people can see. His name is Hillel. He's a guy that grew up in a kibbutz, totally secular, became religious, and now he combines rock and house music and international music with his beliefs and religions. It's something very strange, also for me, but very unique and interesting. So we invite people to come and see on the 9th of June. And another event, we will have a modern dance. Israel is very famous for modern dance in the world. So we have a wonderful dancer. She will perform on the 11th of June. And in between, we have a show of two clowns, and actors and clowns, acrobatic, for children. It will be a very nice performance for children. And he will do, actually, it's a couple, they will do one performance at the Kukla Theater, and the other one will be for children in the hospital.
So a lot of events, huh?
A lot of events, few tastes. The people can taste some music, some dance, some for children, and we'll invite Albanians to come, enjoy, and to share some happy events, and to learn about our culture. And maybe I will take this opportunity to say that we talked about the direct flights. I want to say that they are going back and forth. So Israeli tourists are coming here, but we invite Albanians to come to Israel. It's a beautiful country.
I was there.
Yeah,
very beautiful. Yeah.
So there are a lot of things to do, a lot of and for everyone. I mean, if you're religious, so if you're a Christian, if you're Muslim, so you have you have beautiful sights from your belief. If you want to see culture, if you want to see the beach, if you want to see Jerusalem, the food is great. The culture is great.
The life in Tel Aviv was
exactly.
great.
It's like take the bloco and multiply it.
Yeah.
So
the vibe was.
Yes. So I want to invite also Albanians to come as tourists to Israel, and to learn, because we love Albania, and we want you to come.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Nderuar teleshikues, pas kësaj interviste me ambasadorin e Izraelit zonjën Galit Peleg, do kalojmë në një hapësirë të shkurtër ndërprerje dhe rikthehemi pas në pjesën e dytë, do ndalemi me ajo që ka qenë ngjarja më e rëndësishme e këtyre ditëve, ndoshta edhe e vitit, që ka të bëjë me protestën. Kthehemi pas pak.